Principles over principalities. I gotta start over again. Alright. Principalities. In the Bible, principalities and powers refer to a hierarchy of spiritual beings, both good and evil, that are part of God's created order. These terms can describe angelic beings either in God's service or as rebellious forces. And also spiritual powers influencing healthy rulers and systems of governance. They are part of a spiritual struggle described in the whatever, where believers are instructed to fight not against people but against these special forces. Everything's woo-woo, baby. Principalities. State or ruled by a prince. That's dumb. That's not the one I'm talking about. Origin, Latin. Principalis, first original. Late Latin, principalitas. Old French, principalite. In English is principle. Principality. Principles over principality. Mom's always been woo-woo. See, we always lived more in a spiritual realm than on the earthly plane. Because we're not invited. Because we're just never that cool to play stupid reindeer games with the people of planet Earth. That's okay. I remember when I was younger, you'd play games on the outside with the neighbor kids and stuff like that, and we'd play stuff like cartoon tag, and we'd play bombardment, nation ball, we'd play capture the flag, stuff like that. And there, that's better. And there'd be like 5, 6, 7, 8 neighbor kids, you know, out there just all making up games. And you could kind of see who people were by the role that they played in the neighborhood dynamic, you know. You had the Nellie Olsons, the Virgos, the Capricorns that would try to delegate and manage and say, okay, these are what the rules are going to be. And then you'd play a little while and then something would happen and that rule that they implemented wouldn't work in their favor. So what did they do? They hurry up and they change that rule.
Oh, they changed the rules.
Always changing rules. I could never keep up. So I get to be so bad, I just go off and play by myself, go ride my bike, go hang out in nature, because nature was consistent. Nature wasn't a liar. Nature, you know there's dangers in nature. People act like they're not dangerous, like they're not going to cause you harm. I don't even think everybody that looks like humans are all humans on this earthly plane. I think we've been merged with freaking animal DNA like the whole time. You ever see people that like, nah, not just because they're an ass, but like I used to, like this one chick I used to know, like she straight up looked like a centaur. Like from her waist down, she looked like a little donkey. You know, and I've seen people with bird. Heck, Mom looks like a little turtle. I look like a turtle. I'm Standy Turtle. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka. Where they call us the Dark Impasse. Because we gotta blast the bullshit. We have to tell the truth. And we have to live horrendous lives too. This is the first time in 8 years that I feel like the shift is happening in a good way. Not just for me, but for a lot of people. See, the playing field has to be leveled. There's too many people with advantage that are dumb as a box of rocks. Like, they have a whole bunch of stuff, and they get to live these lavish, good lives, and they're really shitty people. And that goes against universal law. So now things are coming back around where the playing field's going to be leveled. There's going to be more advantage to more people. People are all up in arms because the world is run by perverts. But this is something I've known since I was a 10-month-old baby. I just keep waiting for the rest of the world, to figure out who the bad guys are, but they keep celebrating these bastards. They hold them in high regard. I call it the fraternal order. Oh, wait, what do I call it? The fraternal brotherhood of butt stuff. The whole system's collapsing because America's a lie. I was on Crete when we bombed Iraq. I tell everybody the stories about how nonsensical it was and how it broke the psyches of over 500 young men, young Marines, were pissing themselves. Like, good thing I didn't take pictures of that, man. That would have been awful. All these people thinking Marines are all big and tough, and they're fucking balled up in the corner, pissing themselves, crying because all the terrible shit they just did. Even though they grow up, thou shalt not kill, unless you're in the United States military, then you can kill whoever you want in the name of whatever. And it's okay if your body and your mind loses its coherence, because we'll just give you a bunch of Viagra and then you can go out and feel like a real man. It doesn't happen to everybody. It shouldn't happen to anybody, but people have it disconnected from their body and their spirit. They don't get that you can get freaking negative attachments that tell you to do terrible things. The thing of it is you got free will. And if you got a higher power, something out there that guides and directs you not to cause harm, then you don't got to worry about shooting and killing people and freaking drinking and being a fucking hoe bag slut and all that shit. I've been a prude my whole life, man. I'm a monogamous being. And I don't even know who that being is. I just know that if I ever get in a relationship, I don't want to have to explain to that person that I couldn't control my urges with the whole planet. Look at all these people, they got 10, 12 kids. Why? You're not in these kids' life. You just want to spread that seed. It's so stupid, man. The creep. I don't get, I still, I don't get accosted and, now that I'm an adult, but when I was a young girl, men used to do really creepy, pervy things all the time. I just thought that that's how men behaved, and I didn't like that behavior. So I'd cry myself to sleep at night. Dear God, I don't want to grow up and have to marry a man. That is my least ideal thing. And I never wanted to have kids either. Who would fucking bring kids onto this planet? All these people chasing sensations, going out, try to, achieve the ultimate, the big O, right? And why they do that? It's such an irresponsible thing, chasing sensation. I just want to do this because it feels good. And then people get fucking diseases and stuff. It doesn't even make any sense. That Jezebel spirit just gets on to people, but whatever. People are empty vessels, so they gotta fill them up with sensations. Chasing sensations, Ma.
Chasing sensations.
Then they end up with kids that they want to be their kid's friend. They don't want their kid to ever be mad at them. You ever see that Twilight Zone? Where the kid, like the people didn't have mouths and stuff. It was the movie in 1980. I was 6, 7 years old when I saw that.
Wow.
There's something on the plane. There's something on the wing. There's something out there. That's scary shit. But my life was scary growing up. So it's kind of like movies were kind of an escape. Like it's like, oh God, it's pretend scary, right? Then I go to school and I'm like, do other people have scary lives? Yeah, other people have scary lives. They just don't want us to talk about it because it makes people uncomfortable. I'm like, why can't you make a society where kids don't get that kids aren't getting freaking like they're not getting done. Like where kids don't do creepy stuff like what happened to me when I was a 10-month-old baby.
Wow.
I read the police report when I was 13. Some of us don't turn into the victim. We're the survivor. So, and I go out and tell people, like, you know, be careful of people that wear these brands, and be careful of people that wear this cologne, and be careful, you know, about these shoes and this kind of hat, because, man, birds of a feather, they flock together. They all wear the same labels because it's important. It's about prestige. It's just an unspoken club of dominance and control. But the truth comes out, and that's what people are figuring out. First time that Epstein dude came across my radar, I just got out of the military. It was 2007. And I remember the news article about this guy in Florida and how you know, and how he was coming up on this plea deal and stuff like that. And I'm just like, but I always knew dudes are scumbags and they're just looking for a place to put it. And if they're big machismo types, like the kind that have been trying to put me in my place my whole fucking life, you know, they're just they tell on themselves. It's gluttony of spirit, all that perversion. It's just control and dominance, and it ruins good wholesome things. Because I'm an anomaly. I didn't grow up and fill my orifices with men and alcohol and drugs and have a bunch of fucking kids I couldn't take care of to make me feel better, and maybe I can make a man to love me, and maybe, you know, with my kids, like my parent, like what happened to me. I stopped that shit. I'm not fucking bringing more kids on this planet. So what? The state in which I live, man, they throw kids away all the time. I live in New Mexico. Some creepy pervert, 75 years old, just got arrested. Our own local newspaper didn't even write an article on it. I saw it in the Albuquerque news that a 75-year-old man did a kid under 13 years old. Dude, they smell the same, they look the same, like they're all buddies. But hey, they're protected by their family oftentimes. See, I don't protect the assholes in my family. I think it's hilarious that all these people are coming out about the serial killer truck drivers. And I'm like, you might want to look into my dad, because he fits the total MO of what that does. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if my dad was a serial killer. Because when people do whatever they want and they cause harm, and that harm is covered up by their family, like his was, he was always the protected. Dude used to take 55-gallon oil drums with his buddy that he went to high school with, Les Dernbaugh, and they'd go up on the hill in a Atascadero, and they had like these like it went down, it would flatten out, and then it'd go down, it'd flatten out. They had these cutouts in a Atascadero. They'd take these drums up there and they'd roll them down the hills, and then they'd watch the people on the interstate swerve out of the way. Yeah. And he was a truck driver, you know, and he couldn't take no for an answer. And he just had to prove what a big, strong, tough guy he was. So he'd do things like, one time, he never put hands on me, but I guess one time he picked my brother up and put him against the wall. My brother was 15, but my dad was drinking. And, they always have to put them in their place when they're little, so they establish that dominance and that fear control. But I was always too much of a fighter. I wouldn't put up with that shit. Dudes have been trying to beat up on me my whole life. I wouldn't have it. Like, you're gonna hurt me, but I'm gonna leave marks too. It's just I've had to protect myself. The first time I ever saw stars, I got boom smacked right in my face. It was by my brother, because he had REM tickets, and I was a freshman. He had graduated, or we didn't go to the same school. He was senior year. And so, no, it was after. Did he already move? I lost the. No, it was at Nova. I lost the tickets. The money. I sold the tickets for him because somebody I knew wanted to go, and then I had the money in the envelope and I lost it on the bus. And I went home and I said I lost the money. It fell out of my pocket. I didn't know what happened, and he fucking snapped and punched me in the face, and I saw stars. I picked up a BB gun and I cracked it upside him, because you're gonna be stronger than me and tougher than me, and you're a state wrestling champion, and you're gonna fucking use that shit that you practice time and time again on me because dad threw you up against the wall. Then we're both leaving with marks. And now the guy makes $240,000 a year because he's a big important lawyer for the state of California. Office of Parole. But they're abusers. But I get thrown away and no help. He don't help me at all with mom because he don't want people to find out what a piece of shit he is. But he verifies he's a piece of shit by not helping me out with mom ever. I haven't had a day off except to move from house to house in 5 years. There's no going off to the fucking movies, no going on vacation. And then I see all these people on social media, they call themselves fucking light workers and stupid shit like that. They call themselves way showers. I listen to a lot of astrologers, but essentially an astrologer, when you pay an astrologer to give you a report, you're paying for their astrology perception. You're paying for their alignments perceiving yours. And so basically I pay for people to give me their perception of me. But I know myself, so I don't have to. It's just something I do, because especially if it's somebody that I've listened to before, I value their opinion. But I'm in the solo stage. Mom, because there's too many people that have hijackers on them, principalities. They don't do the work. They don't want to stay clean. So my horoscope today is stay feral. Stay feral. With Jupiter Pisces, you have an innate ability to dissolve boundaries and merge with your environment. Which is funny, because if you read my page description, the first thing it says is, come merge with Marge. This allows you to feel and understand things on a level that most never access. It's like I live in the ethers. It's like I know people better than they know themselves. It's so weird. But Mars has now challenged you to remember where you end and the world begins. When everything feels like an extension of you, it's easy to lose your wildness and attempt to tame the chaos around you. I'm just not participating. It's not my circus. See, me and Mom have been going through hell for years. And I've been calling out all over the place We need help. We need help. I need help. I need help. I need help. I need help. On all these social media platforms, right? And all these people saw me need help, and nobody said a fucking thing. Nobody in my IMs, Marge, I can't help you right now, but really, no words of encouragement, but just people fucking watched. And I was like, what is that? Oh, it's Chiron and Aries. Oh, motherfuckers. So now you are ready to embark on a quest. It will be a lonely, lonely adventure. With Jupiter and Pisces, you know how to follow the current of life. The intuition helps you choose the path of least resistance. I don't choose the path of least resistance because that doesn't build character. But it can also make it hard to choose any path at all. Mars is now challenging you to realize that sometimes the only way out is through. The greatest adventures are the ones where you must rely on your own inner compass. That's what I've done for the last 8 years, and all I can do is recommend that people do the same because it works out for you. I just have been waking up in gratitude every day, the last 3 days. Every day, just like, I don't have to go to work. I don't have to get up and go anywhere. I don't have to pretend like I'm somebody so people will like me, so I can collect money, so I can give it to other people and live a life that I want to do. I don't have to do that at all. See, because I did 6 years of stupid shit that probably shortened my life. It probably shortened who knows? We're here as long as our spirits want to be, right? But the shit that happened, I've been a guinea pig by doctors and fucking in and out of the military my whole life. I don't even know what I am. They probably know I'm probably some half alien lady. And they've been taking my blood and stuff and profiting from it. Because that's what other people do. Why wouldn't I be able to profit on harvesting my own goodness, No, some stupid cousin has to because they don't got no good stuff of their own. I found this picture not too long ago. I was like, this is right before this is like 23, 24 years old. I don't wear makeup a lot, but I clean up nice. My teeth were all jacked up still. This is before I had braces, too. I kind of miss my janky teeth spill. I still got my smile. They haven't taken that from me yet. And maybe it'll get better because I've been in so much gratitude because I don't have to, like I said, I wake up every day, I'm like, Mom, I don't have to go to work. I remember the first 4 years I had my little dogs, I lived in Omaha, I was living the American imposed dream. I had the job, I was making like $70,000 a year. I was going to every concert, I was doing anything and everything I wanted to do, and I was putting this is what I worked for, right? And then I was like, what an empty life. And I'd have to wake up and fucking go to work at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, freezing ass cold in Omaha to go out and work in the flight line and stuff like that. Dude. And as far as income wise, I probably make just as much as I did them, only I don't got to go to work. Because that's just how life worked out. Because if you do hard work in the beginning, if you do something viable, that will sustain you. But that don't happen in America no more, man. It's freaking disgusting what this happened. Somebody started saying years ago is, I'm sorry for my service for what this country has done. Because I worked too hard to be surrounded by fucking stupid cousin shit. Because you got a bunch of freaking men with inferior complexes and ideas of grandeur that are deciding how fucking people are supposed to live, that just want to fucking take care of their mom, you know? Like, I did the career. I went to war. I worked in IT for 10 years, help desk support. My resume is stellar. Right? I have this impressive as fuck resume. And I send that to people sometimes, and I tell them these are the things that all the things I did to take care of mom, and now they're all the things I don't do to take care of mom. So what the fuck do I care about other people's society? You know? My whole life people want me to care about stupid shit. No, Marge, don't tell him Santa's not real. Don't ruin it, Marge. It's stupid. Faking and lying about a man in a suit that's gonna bring you presents when you're good is stupid. Because I never not got presents because I wasn't good. I only didn't get presents because mom couldn't fucking afford food. And that's the nation in which America, which everybody reveres and loves, but nobody fucking will do jack shit to even go out and pick up trash to make it better. Nobody I know. I see people on the internet, but nobody I know. You look on my feed, I'm out there weed whacking, like I'm doing shit in my community. I'm giving people stuff in their hands to help them. Not this fucking false idol for profit, these 503 bullshit, dude. You want to see, look what you're paying for when you donate. Look at the people that are on the board of trustees. Look at the cars that they drive. That's what you're donating to. I want to see a world where people, if they don't, hey, you want to pay taxes? You could pay it to an individual. Like, you can sponsor another human, like NASCAR, like these politicians in D.C. And then they can be your dependent, and then you can, you get all these tax breaks, and you're helping another human being raise their position up in life. I've known plenty of people that all they needed is a break. I was one of them for years. When we were almost homeless in 2020, I was calling agencies all over Sacramento. I was calling California, Redding. I was calling Oregon. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do to not be homeless with my mom? What do I do? They're like, we can't help you with that. And my brother, like I said, he makes $240,000 a year. Back then it was probably $193 or whatever. But I asked him, I said, dude, I need help finding a place for mom. He said, mom's your problem. I was like, then okay, God, it's just, I'm leaning in. I'm leaning into my faith, God, and wherever you want us, that's where we're going to be. And through YouTube chats on channels that don't even exist anymore, I got in position, and that's how I ended up in New Mexico. And then after we moved to here, we found out where we moved to is 20 miles from where mom was born. Where I always said, Mom, I wish I knew where you came from. Careful what you wish for. Because I ended up right dab smack in the land of the stupid cousin. But evidently, there's giants up in Cuesta too, is what the indigenous history is. But this stuff I already knew because I got the same DNA in me, and all the answers are in the no place space. All you got to do is be in alignment with the frequency of truth, and you're going to get truth. You live a lie, the calendar with holidays and go big red and this bullshit and that bullshit, that doesn't bode well. And it might seem like people have really good lives, but hey, whatever energy they put out is going to come back to them. That includes neglect. You neglect people. You watch them suffer because you like it or whatever weird, stupid reason people watch people suffer. Because, like I said, people watch me suffer for years. If you don't have enough attunement with yourself to have discernment And if you haven't learned discernment, maybe you need to go out and learn a few lessons on who you should and should not put your faith into. There's so many, I've seen it my whole life. People revere. There's this dude, his dad was a doctor in the town in Reading I grew up in, wasted, out of his mind, drunk. First time I ever met this guy's dad, who was this big important doctor. I was eating crab dip on a Ritz cracker, and some of it fell on my shirt. And this man walked up to me and grabbed the food off my boob and ate it. That's against the law. I was a 16-year-old girl. I was like, I'm surrounded by important people. That's one of the ways I learned that important people will fucking eat food off your boob, whether you want them to touch you or not, because that's just what important people do. So, people are figuring out feelings are vibrational frequency. For every feeling, for every emotional, there's a frequency that's related to that. The thing is people are having a real hard time differentiating the sensations in their body and the disconnect from the thoughts in their mind. That's what that shot did. See, I got 8 anthrax vaccine is what my country gave to me. You got 2 at a fucking time in the Air Force. I was selected as a special military guinea pig. It disconnects people from your endocrine system. I explained that to a lady on a thread today. Because something I started saying years ago is, I'm sorry for my service. And now I explain why. Because there's plenty of people, like, all these men have been all, oh, the Vietnam vets, they've been all shut up, tight-lipped, freaking, they never talk about their military service. That's because they do shit that you would fucking leave them for. That's because you would find out the person that you love is a fucking monster and they can't live with themselves, and they could definitely not live with themselves if you knew that, and then all this ancestry shit comes out. So how many people are figuring out that dad wasn't a sad military, he was just putting it any place he could over there. And then you got all these freaking half brothers and sisters. Because that's what the military is, baby. Hooking up and gay while away and, But people have praise for that shit, right? Give me 5 minutes with any of your dads. Yeah. This is what America's falling down, because the bad guys have been winning for too long. And there's too many people that are like, nah, you suck. I mean, it's complete pageantry. It's a complete contrived reality. DC and Hollywood are the same. It's the same budgets. They all get the $1 billion budgets, but yet they can create this fantasy world and they can create that fantasy world, yet they can't build fucking houses for homeless. It don't make any sense. And let people live the way they want to live instead of these institutionalized, freaking industrialized buildings. You want to know why military spends $58 billion in freaking Viagra every year? It's because freaking people act like they're withholder. They act like big old, important people, and they fucking know they're shitty human beings, and that comes out sideways in the body. But hey, I don't got no ponies in this rodeo. I'm just a spectator. I just went along with all of these agencies I just went along. Hey, and if you want to know who the biggest creeps are from my IT experience, it's always the people in sales. Because they go around, they watch dirty shit on laptops and computers that they go buy your own laptop, do whatever you want, but they don't. It's always on company dime, company time. And then I had to clean all the freaking nasty stuff off people's computers because they do whatever they want and they just can't help themselves from being freaking creepy, pervy fucking people. That's not what God intended. Deperv population, then maybe I'll think that the principalities are evading people. People need to exercise themselves. Get all those demons out of you. Make you want to do weird, gross shit. Put all that shit in your face. Why do people want to change how they look? We're on this planet for such a short time. And then they want me to go with the narrative like fake ass people are authentic. And I can't. So I can't even watch stuff like, there's so much stuff I can't watch. Most stuff on YouTube, you know. Most stuff on, I just listen to a lot of music and go in my imagination because like, God, I can't believe this is what people the stupid shit that people watch. You know? People don't got no life experience yet. I don't know. I never fit on into this planet, though. This planet has never... It's just a place where I come visit sometimes and then wonder why they do it so stupid. Like, man, everybody... We could have heaven on earth if there weren't so many principalities, you know? You could have a principality. Like getting married, honoring... Like... Say you're going to spend the rest of your life with that person and then they get sick and then you put your wife in a home. Like, what kind of stupid shit is that? Whatever happened to community, man? It's every man for himself. I like to build community. I go out and I like to give people stickers and stuff like that. And magnets. My own design. Straight people like rainbows too. I got this whole movement, but evidently... People that have never done anything significant in their life, they don't recognize me because I have. I've done so many significant historical things. Things that they would write in the history books about. Well, people don't see me because they ain't never done nothing. So they don't know what somebody that's had a very remarkable life looks like. And then still managed to put themselves together enough to not just go wake up every day and do whatever I want whenever I feel like it. And no, discipline. That's the only thing I got out of that stoicism thing is being disciplined. That's the only thing I got. See, I had more discipline than the military. That's why I only did 6 years because my standards were so far above that fake ass bullshit. There's never any weapons of mass destruction. We never have any reason unloading our arsenal over there for nothing. This is the only land we should ever be defending. Yet look, the people of this land, it's hard to tell who the bad guys and good guys are. And this is a storyline that they have been perpetuating since fucking my brother was in Watts in 89. That was the year he enlisted. That's the year he punched me in the face and smacked mom. So that's how I know it, you know. You gotta be careful. You know. And his life was never even as bad as mine was. He was trafficked though. I remember he was trafficked when he was 13. I was 10. Grandma was a real estate agent. She had important, influential friends. And then my brother would make friends with the friends. And one time they flew him out to Kissimmee, Florida. I remember I called. He was gone for a week. And I was like, I want to talk to my brother. want to call brother and see how he's doing. So I called him, and there's all these, you could hear it's like a party in the background, all these kids. There's a pool party having a good time. So these things that are just becoming relevant to people because they don't get what real life is because they're too busy tuned into this stupid show or that video game or that dumb football game or some sort of something useless that isn't going to do anybody any good. People are starting to get out of those cycles and they're like, oh my gosh, America's a shithole, oh my gosh, oh well, at least I'm not one of them. It's bad I got